T.I. responds to Boosie. Let's get into the clip.
So, for those of y'all who don't know what's going on, Mr. Harris here was, for lack of better words, called out is the parentheses word we'll use.
Now, I don't even think that. It wasn't called out. It was questioned.
Questioned by Lil Boosie today. And the question is about this man's involvement of telling.
Yeah, cooperation. Shit was confusing because he and I have a relationship.
Right.
And it's so many times, like when somebody had your phone number and your address, and they could have called or pulled up,
yeah.
And you have like so many very, very important mutual acquaintances, it just baffled me as to how it ended up.
It's more ways to communicate than not communicate.
I mean, the public internet route is crazy.
Right.
But that's, I guess, what prompted you to reach out to me to say, hey,
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on here? You got,
but I appreciate
we got
that.
Action? Yeah, man.
I appreciate that, and that's kind of what I would have expected from a person I have a real relationship with.
Right. A
phone call. Like, hey, bro, I got a question
the
about
respect
this.
Of.
You did?
Yeah.
I mean, so that made it wild,
Because y'all did have that project coming out together, TV shows, all kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
a whole rollout.
Hey, look, man, don't now one of us need the other one in order to get out here and make that shape. You see what I'm saying? So whatever we were doing, it was because we wanted to do it.
Right.
Which, is neither here nor there. But when you are standing on something solid, you got to make sure what you're standing on is actually solid.
Right.
If you put your reputation or a relationship that's valuable on something that you aren't sure of, and you speak on that publicly, what you're standing on ain't solid. And if it's flimsy, then you are only as strong as this. You're going to be held accountable.
And not to interrupt you, but because we live in such a clickbait clip society, 30 seconds of news to tell an hour-long story, the pivotal point of this conversation that Boosie had with Blad is the word if.
Yeah, and that's why I would confuse it to me.
He never said T.I. did do this. It's if T.I. did this.
It can't be said. But anyway, so it went from sounding like someone searching about something, or someone uncertain about something. Then they went to as though this is certainly what will happen. Right. On the other end of it. Right. Then they went back to, but I'm not certain. I don't even think that it's. And that, to me, I couldn't follow it. I couldn't make sense of it.
Yeah, because it's if he is, had done these things.
If he did, I'm going to do this.
Right.
But I don't think he did. I wouldn't have never put that out there like that about nobody who I had any kind of a relationship with. I'd have picked up the phone and said, hey, man, did you do this?
So in dealing in actuality of you guys' relationship, in dealing in what it actually is, would you expect him to know you better than that, to not even question it? Or would you just expect the courtesy of a phone call of a real nigga, quote unquote?
I have to say both.
Okay.
I have to say both, which he kind of alluded to.
Because being a real nigga is why I called you like, hey, cuz, what's the deal?
I just appreciate the thought of, getting the facts.
Right.
And not just playing in the circus. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you want facts, you want something real, then you come and ask real questions, get real answers.
From a real person.
And have a real understanding.
Right.
And if you just throwing out shit like, I don't know if it did or it didn't, but if and then, and that kind of like, that just stirring up the circus.
Right.
And I wouldn't do that with nobody who I had no real relationship with.
So do you think he was more concerned about getting that click for that interview, more so than actual maintaining the relationship with the friend?
One thing I ain't gonna do is, I'm not gonna assume what nobody would do. I'm only gonna look at the reality of what was done.
What happened. Right. Is there anything about that particular interview that made you, obviously the whole thing is unsettling?
I haven't seen it, bro.
Do you plan on watching it?
Nah.
Why not?
I mean, I got the gist of it.
But then one can make the point that you watching the clip.
Man, I ain't really watched that for real. People call me and was like, hey man, what's up with this? I'm like, man, I don't know, I ain't seen it. And I read like the headline of it, but I don't want to give it too much energy, to be honest with you.
Right.
But what I can do is address the facts.
Which are?
Yeah, I mean, for one, the conversation came from a conversation I was having on my platform, expeditiously. And having a platform, you know, my job, because I am not bound or restricted to nobody's opinion of me. My life don't change. No matter what you think of me, my life gonna remain the same.
Right.
So I have the luxury or the ability to say things that other people might not say. I can offer some alternative perspective to the way things are being viewed by the majority.
Right. Open up conversation. And
open up the floor for conversation about taboo topics. Free thinking.
Right.
So I have that luxury, and that's what I was doing. But it came from a conversation that my partner and I were having, and that conversation was, hey bro, if me and you catch a case together and I die before you, it's mine.
Right.
It's mine. He's like, nah, I can't do that. Yes, you can. It's mine. Why can't you?
Right.
I don't understand it.
That man can't go to jail.
I just don't understand it.
Right.
You understand? I mean, and he said, nah, I can't do it. You know what I mean? He said, man, I can't really say nothing about anybody who do, but I can't do it. So off of that conversation, I created a set of circumstances. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I thought that the embellishment was clear when I said I talked to my cousin and he told me.
They didn't get the satire in the conversation. They didn't get the change of inflection of voice. They didn't get the fact that you was basically being sarcastic.
Humor, sarcasm,
satire might be too much of a shit for him. Let's call it sarcasm.
Yeah,
he was fucking around.
I
So yeah, man, like we were saying, you found yourself in a
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.